Okay, ladies and gents, welcome back to FTRL. It's been a very long time. Hope you all had a great Christmas period and a very good New Year. But we are back for business for Division 2 this evening, round number 1 of our 8th season, and we are at Spain. Joining me once again is Will and Joe. How you doing, boys?
Doing good, yeah?
Very well, thank you, mate. How are you, Will?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm just trying to get to grips with all these new names we've got.
Yeah, I know there's quite a few, which we will go through very soon. I will talk you through all of the teams and everything we need to know for the season. And I'm just going to quickly adjust my audio mix and then we'll crack on. Okay, fantastic. Right, so we've had our first retirement, which is one of the new guys. Starting off in the Ferrari, we've got Matt Cause. Has the session just died for you, lads?
No, you just disappeared.
You went, I'm still in.
Okay, no worries. It's alright. We will make do. We will make do. It's all good. Right, so anyway, we've got Matt Cause in the Ferrari. And with a new driver to FTRL by the name of HammerTime95. He's going to be his teammate for the current season. In the Mercedes, we have got Shrimpy and Spurge. In the Sauber, we have got CJ Payne, possibly the favourite for the championship title this season, and his teammate is City Posh Blue. In the Williams, we have got Rich T Gaming, who's unfortunately not here tonight, and Preheated Oven in the Williams. And in the Renault, we have got Team Admin, FTRL Blue Flag and FTRL Panini, who stepped down from Division 1, so he's certainly one to watch out for this season. Then arguably the most popular team of Agent Panda and Goy Carp in the Red Bull. Got Prototype, Steph and Willie Tix, who have remained as teammates for this season. They are in the Toro Rosso. Then we've got Paul James and Big Metzer in the McLaren. Paul James did actually race, I think it was once in Division 1, and then he unfortunately couldn't continue, but he's now back. And Big Metzer, we're not too sure what his pace is like. And then we've got Hammertime and Bendel in the Haas, so they're remaining in the same car and as teammates. And then finally we've got the return of Michael C and FTRL Daddy, who is also not here this evening. So only 15 drivers, not the best turnout, but looking forward to the season ahead nonetheless. Boys, first of all, what are we thinking about Spain? Obviously we had the Div 1 race last night. How do we think the boys are going to cope? First race of the season, difficult track for them, would you say?
I mean, it's definitely tough on the tyres. It's going to take some decent tyre management, especially if you do a one-stop around here. But I think most of these guys will be able to do that. They're all good drivers, so I'm sure they won't have any problems.
Yeah, absolutely. And Will, who's jumping out at you? Obviously putting you under a bit of pressure here, but early season favourite. Who'd you put that down to?
Well, in the new Ravers Predictor League, a little shout out for the Ravers, I'm sure you're happy. I picked CJ Payne pole and the win, so I think I'm going to go with him for a early shout.
Okay, Joe, are you going to agree?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's unanimous across pretty much everyone, to be honest. I think in the early stages we had, well, of the admin discussions, we had the admin predictions video out as well, and that did feature CJ Payne being predicted by every single admin that he would win this title. So we saw his pace coming towards the back end of last season, and certainly got a lot about him. He comes straight in and mixed with the quickest drivers in Div 2 of last season. So yeah, I think all eyes on him, to be honest. What about Constructors Championships, boys? Who's our money on for that?
The Bananas, I think, for me.
Yeah.
I think Blue Flag got unlucky in quite a lot of last season. He's got definitely some more results in him that showed, and we've got Pagani as well moving down from Division 1, who should have some pretty decent pace around him. I think it's going to come down to a lot of luck with those two. It seems that they didn't have great luck last season, but they should have a pretty good pairing in theory.
Yeah, what are you saying, Joe? What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I'd probably agree with that. I think Pagani's a lot quicker than he makes himself out to be. And like Will said, I think Boy Flag is still a very good driver. But I mean, you've got to look at the Sauber lineup. I mean, CJ we've already mentioned is going to be up there, and City Posh Blue as well. Only just missed out last season. He was quite quick, so I think they're going to be ones to watch as well.
Definitely. Well, with regards to with City Posh, he was part of the Ferrari team that won the constructors last season. So that's he already knows, or he's already won it before. So let's see if he can do it again. Another team to watch out for, I think, will be the Ferraris, Matt Cors and Hammer Time 95. With Hammer Time, he is a new driver, but we know he's got good pace, and also they've developed quite a good relationship already, them two. So that's certainly going to be quite a laugh to see that unfold across the season. So, but I think those two definitely are within a shout for that, to be perfectly honest with you. Quick look in the stream. We've got Ravers, we've got Chicken Guy, we've got Tim 12, Smertins is in there as well, who should be racing, so tut Simon. Dutch is in there as well, who absolutely dominated again last night. Superb performance from him. And Matt Sims, who is also known as Shrimpy, who said kind of left traction control off and spun into a wall, so not the best of starts for him in his first league race, but let's see how it unfolds.
Similar to what you did last night, wasn't it, Aaron?
Yeah, a little bit. A little bit. Oh, Cress is here as well, so evening to you, Cress. One thing we must say is Goy Karp is now racing for the first ever time on a wheel. So fingers crossed to Goy. His aim for tonight is to just bring the car home. So he doesn't care how many times he's got to pit. Even if he spins a couple of times, he just wants to bring the car home. So best of luck to him, and he's got our full support. And with a few drivers missing out tonight due to various reasons, Steph's being the worst reason by the fact he's gone to watch Tottenham. There's good opportunity for points for people tonight. So I'm going to put you boys on the spot, and if you can let me know in the stream chat as well, who do you think is going to win, and what do you think the podium's going to be? And also give me your poll prediction as well. Maybe do the poll prediction first, and then we'll discuss the race winners at the end of qualifying. But yeah, are we all unanimous that we think CJ is going to get it? Obviously 2 extra points now being awarded for pole position.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, me too. Very, very, very quick.
Yeah, just watching Pagani, who's come back in. A lot of the guys opting for the medium tyres. I think it should be a one-stop for most drivers tonight. But yeah, I think obviously depending on tyre temperatures, because that can be a problem at Spain. It can force you into a 2-stop depending on your setup and whatnot. Like what happened with myself last night, by sort of lap 9, lap 10, my soft tyres were absolutely shot to pieces, really, really hot. Nothing I could do, so I think some people would have seen that last night and then maybe go a bit more carefully.
Yeah, looking at the times we've got, the medium times of 18.7s, 18.8s, it's pretty good. I mean, the fastest time we saw in Div 1 on the mediums was I think that was an 18.1, but that was Plexit. Everyone else was doing sort of similar times to the 18.7, so it's pretty decent laps.
Yeah, they take a 2 or 3 laps to really get up to sort of optimal speed and temperature and so on. So let's see how this unfolds. But just watch Paul James run off. Let's check in with Goy. I believe he's on a flying lap. Coming around turn 2. Quite a few tricky corners at Spain. I think turn 2 stands out. Also the sort of uphill right-hander before the second DRS straight, and the uphill left-right complex coming towards the end of the lap in the 3rd sector, which I'll point out very, very soon. But Goy seems to be on not a bad lap so far. Also made the switch to manual as well. But not too bad a lap for Goy so far. Upshifts early, heading down towards the hairpin. A little bit wide next to it. Yeah, these couple of corners here. Yes, a lot of people tend to go around it, knowing about the threat of spinning the car. But I think if you can lift as you go over the bump, it can actually gain you quite a bit of time. So, anyway, Goy's first official lap with a wheel. Let's see what it's going to be. It is a 120.5. So he slots himself. Yeah, beats Agent Panda. That's certainly going to be a rivalry to watch out for. Must be said, preheated oven on the mediums, 18.7, quicker than Willy Tick's Hammer Time, Blue Flag. He's certainly one to watch this season, I think, the preheated oven. He's a lot quicker than what he's made himself out to be so far. Matt Cors goes provisional pole by about 2 tenths. We're going to stay on board with the Williams driver for now. So boys, we happy to be back?
Oh yes.
It's been a long break, isn't it?
Too long.
Preheated oven's pulled out of his lap. I think he's invalidated there. Little fact for you, as we see Michael C doing a bit of charity work. FTRL Blue Flag has never scored a point at Spain.
That's surprising.
He's done a lot of races over the years in Spain, hasn't he?
Yeah, it's a fact of the day. I'm expecting more to come from FTRL Hammer Time. We've got to try and differentiate those two, with it being Hammer Time and Hammer Time 95, but it's just a bit too much of a mouthful to say both. But yeah, FTRL Hammer Time is certainly one to watch around Spain. He, in my opinion, is one of his strongest tracks. So, and I've raced him around here, and I know he's got quite a good pace. Simon, if you can hear me, would you mind dropping me 1 or 2 more invites from your menu screen, just in case what happened earlier on happens again? I'm hoping it doesn't, but just to be on the safe side. Tim12 saying Goy looks fast. I think I might have to screenshot that for Goy. There you go, Goy. Yeah, Ravers chipping in as well, saying preheated could be one to watch, quickest on the medium tyre so far. CJ Payne has retired, so he is going to be starting at a maximum of P6, and he set that on the soft tyre as well, so that's the prediction for him out the window. Thank you for the invites, boys. Don't need any more. We've got 19 people watching the stream, so welcome to you all. Thank you all very much for tuning in. Please like the video as well, that does us a massive favour. 20 people watching now, so welcome, welcome, welcome.
Do you reckon we'll see anyone go for the supers, or are they going to copy a lot of Div 1 guys' strategy?
I can't imagine we're going to see too many people go for the super softs, because they don't last very long here at all.
I mean, Michael C's out on the supers.
Yeah, they don't last very long. It's a 100% a 2-stop if they do that. Yeah, Ravers saying CJ Payne retired, everyone's predictor is buggered. So
Yeah.
say a good Hammer Time goes pole with a 118.2, although that was on the soft tyre. Nevertheless, let's have a
I
look.
think we had a 17 flat on the softs from Tim 12 last night. So
Yeah. Well, looking at
for
it now,
17.
everybody that's out on track other than Michael C is on the soft tyre. So I think from this position, I think Matt Cors could get pole. Willy Tix is retired now. I think Matt Coles might get pole tonight. He's shown good pace, and I know he's been practicing a lot. Another interesting fact, Matt Coles has never ever won a race. And right on cue, Michael Korsgaard, who I'm not too sure. Matt did tell me what relation he is to him. I'm pretty sure it's his dad. But thank you for watching, mate, as always. And he's commented saying it's finally here. It is indeed. City Posh is retired as well. Matt Kors, I think we might go on board with him for this flying lap.
Michael C's coming to the end of his lap now on the supers. You'd
Yeah.
expect him on those tyres to go at least provisional pole. He was very confident in the Discord chat earlier today, saying that he's not done any practice. So, going to be interesting to see where he finishes.
Yeah, it certainly will.
Second.
Here we go. 1:17.6, that's a fantastic lap.
That is good.
Matt Core's got it all to do now as he's going around turn 2. Can he stay flat all the way through turn 3? Yeah, the car's planted. Revving it out a little bit too much, heading down in towards turn 4. Important to clip the curb if you can. On the throttle now, heading down towards turn 5. There's a little bit deep into the corner.
Oh, Pagani went second.
Yeah, 18-0, blue flag. Just beats his teammate by basically a tenth. Matt Core's now coming down towards the hairpin. It's been a pretty good lap so far from Matt. Feathers the throttle slightly. This is where it's won or lost. He takes it pretty nicely. Downshifts to third. Good lap from Matt Core's this. How will he end it? Very nicely indeed, very smooth. 16, 17. Matt Core's pole.
Great lap.
17.3. Now that is a fantastic lap from Matt Core's. That's 2 and a bit tenths quicker than his teammate, but very impressive.
So it's only
Michael
3
has
tenths off what,
put
Div1.
himself in a lot of bother here.
Yeah, Michael on the Super Softs has put himself in quite a lot of bother, but we'll have to wait and see how that one unfolds. But nevertheless, we have a front row Ferrari lockout. So Matt Core's, obviously, we need to bring it up what happened last season. The bottled promotion on the final race of the season. But if I'm not mistaken, I think that's his first ever pole position as well. I could be wrong there. It might be his second.
Happy viewer in the chat, I know.
We do indeed. But yeah, Simon in P3 puts himself in a good position, but we'll just run through. But let us know, guys in the chat, who you think is going to be the podium from this position. So we've got the Ferraris on the front row of Matt Core's taking pole, the Renaults on the second row with blue flag taking third, Pagani fourth, Hammer Time in fifth, Michael C starting on the Super Softs in sixth, and then we've got 2 medium runners, a preheated oven and Willie Tix on the fourth row, so good qualifying from them. CJ Payne and City Posh round off the top 10 in the Sauber. Then we've got Paul James in the McLaren in 11th. Goy Carpout qualifies Agent Panda in 12th. And we had no times set from Big Metza and Shrimpy as well. So they're going to be starting from the back. Lads, I'm going to put you on the spot now. What's going to happen?
Go for it, Will.
Matt Coles is going to bowl it.
You think? I think he might win. I think he might win.
He's looking very quick.
It depends how nice his teammate is, I think. If his teammate decides to give him a good race, then who knows?
Exactly. Well, they just got to make sure they work together. Preheated ovens in a good position, so is Willie Tix. They're assigned on the medium tyres. So if they can stay close to this pack and be on the faster tyre towards the end. So strategies are all important, but as always, we will Raver saying watch Prehoven. Prehoven. And for someone that's very particular about their English, that's a very poor job you've done there, Ravers.
Have we got someone called Prehoven?
Prehoven? I don't know.
No.
We might have. Bless you. Right, as always, Will, once everyone's done it, I'm going to get you to take us through the the formation lap for the first time this season, mate. Take it away.
Thank you very much. So we've got the two Ferraris, first and second. We've had a lot of talk between Matt Cause and Hammer Time in pre-season. Not sure how much of it was serious or not, but they've definitely got on, and to the benefit of everyone else, because it's pretty funny to watch. And then got the two Bananas in third and fourth. I'm going to start calling them Renault soon, but it's Pagani's fault. You call them Bananas first. But anyway, so we've got Blue Flag putting up a lot better qualifying show than he did last season. That was where he was going wrong a fair bit, but qualifying up in third, he's going to look to attack the Ferraris and hopefully should get something decent out of this. We've got Pagani moving down from Division 1, starting now in 4th for his first time in Division 2. He could be good as well. He hasn't been this far up in the starting position in a while though, so hopefully he can hold his nerve together going through Turn 1 and don't do what some other person may have done in the Renault at Turn 1 yesterday. I believe he's then got the two Hasses in 5th and 6th. No, one of them's a Force India, never mind, they look very similar. But we've got Hammer Time in P5 under one of the FTRL admins. Aaron was saying earlier, he's pretty good around Spain, so hopefully we'll see something with him battling with the other two admins, because whenever Hammer Time and Blue Flag get together, it seems to be pretty good for the viewers, so we should enjoy that one. Michael C, the only one starting on the Supers. He also did a few races in Div 1 last season, but ended up not completing it due to other commitments, but now he's back in Division 2 this year in the Force India, so those Supers, you can burn them out very quickly, so we'll have to hope he can keep control of them. And he'll be pretty much stuck on a 2-stop, so that's not too brave of him. Then got rounding out the top 10, Priest, Dublin, Willie Tix, CJ Payne, City Posh, the two Saubers there, 9th and 10th. CJ a lot further down than people anticipated, but he's done some good overtaking manoeuvres around Canada last season, so he should be able to come back from there, and we're just lining up for the start of the race.
Nicely done indeed, my friend. Right, quick predictions in the chat. Chicken Guy saying Matt Cause for the win, Blue Flag second, preheated oven third, and I'm going to stay on board for lights out. We'll go through those very, very soon. Chris is saying CJ for the win still, Hammer Time 95 second and Pangadi third, but we are 5 red lights in Spain, and for the first time this season we are lights out and away we go. Looks like a pretty good start. There's carnage in the background, absolute carnage. Agent Panda, Shrimpy, Big Metza, Paul James. Goikup's up to 11th, but Pagani's got up to 2nd. Blue Flag up the inside, going in towards turn 2. There's a Force India around, that is Michael C. So in terms of position changes, we've had Pagani up a couple. CJ's up 3 already, up into P6. Always a little touch between Hammer Time and CJ. CJ goes around the outside, so he's up into P5 possibly already, but they're going to go side by side, the two drivers there.
At the back looks like guy has no wing, he's just spinning into the wall.
Oh, CJ very, very close to spinning there. Big Metz has lagged out, unfortunately. But yeah, a couple of incidents on lap 1, so we're probably going to see some changes to strategy. Big Metz is back. But yeah, Goikart falling down the order. Michael C having a spin as well, down 7 positions. Hammer Time 95 has lost out 2. So Simon stayed as he is. Pagani's overtaken 2 people. And there's already an ever so slight gap from the top 4 down to 5th by about a second. But Pagani looks absolutely hungry. We haven't seen this sort of Pagani for a very long time. Michael Korsgaard in the chat saying that if Matt Kors stays away from penalties he could be in for a good shout here, which I completely agree with that statement. Hammer Time 95 falling back ever so slightly, as is Blue Flag. So preheated oven dropped down a couple of positions already, but we shouldn't be too phased at this point.
Yeah, it's may now come down to tyre management. Matt Cause probably what let him down a lot last season, often overcooked his tyres.
Yeah, very easy to do here. CJ looks very unstable in that car, it must be said. Just on board with Willie Tix. Let's hope Willie Tix has calmed down a little bit compared to what last season's fortunes brought him. sometimes can be a little bit over aggressive. Oh, nearly hits the back of CJ. He's right on board. But yeah, Pagani is now 1.2 seconds behind Matt Cause, so he's obviously had a bit of a wobble somewhere because his teammate's closing in. Lap 3, so DRS will be enabled, and like we haven't said so far.
Willie Six has slammed CJ into the barrier, pushed him a little bit.
Oh dear.
CJ's down.
Yep, CJ's going to have to come in. Not the best start for CJ, unfortunately. Maybe that'll be one we see in the steward's office a little bit later on. But yeah, Pagani under real pressure from his teammate here in the battle for second. But the top 5 have already got a 4-second gap to 6th place, so could this be the trend of the race? Pretty Lovin's back up into 7th, so he's overtaken City Posh Blue and he's now on the back of Willy Tick, so looking to maybe trade back positions.
Although those two are on the medium, so they should maybe be able to make up that time on the softs at the end of the race, maybe.
So on the board with City Posh. Pretty Lovin goes defensive. City Posh tries to break a little bit later, locks up, goes for a switchback attempt. If he had more of a run there, he probably would have been able to make that stick. But Matt Cause at the moment 1.7 seconds clear of Pagani. Hammer Time 95 has caught back up to the back of Blue Flag, so there's a little train forming behind Pagani at the moment, but nothing too major. Let's have a look at the tyres. So Michael C is on a definite 2-stop and he's only down in 10th on the super softs at the minute, 4 seconds behind Paul James, so he's at a disadvantage, it must be said. Hammer Time 95 really putting the pressure on.
Oh, a little bit of contact.
Yeah, saw that. Just had a better run, but luckily they were sensible. Bit of a lock-up. I think he's a no assist user, I believe, which I have a lot of respect for now. Raver's in the chat saying Matt Cause looks quicker than last season, which at this point in time you can't really disagree with. Oh, FTRL Hammer Time in the background, very, very nearly spinning. But this is some train forming, must be said, behind Pagani. Now, I'll be interested to know, obviously, for the first time people were allowed to pick their own teammates. So will we see a lot more in the way of team orders come into play this season?
You would think so.
You would think so.
Especially with the reward this season for winning constructors.
Exactly. Well,
That's true.
Blue Flag's got DRS on Pagani here, so we could potentially see a move. Yet we're going to down in towards turn 1. Pagani's just going to tuck in behind, so they're going to swap over. Hammer Time 95 picks up the first penalty that I've seen of the evening.
Yep, it's the first one that's popped up. Woody 6 is slowly gaining on these guys as the softs wear out. 3.4 now behind Hammer Time.
Yeah, oh, Hammer Time 95. Very close to Pagani, who looks a little bit unsettled now. I don't think Pagani's said he said to me he hasn't really got the best setup at this point. Right, Goy Carp pulls over sensibly and lets Matt Cause through, and he's going to pull off into the, yeah, well done Goy.
There's a whole bunch of cars.
Yeah, but like I said, Goy's not too bothered about that at this point. He just wants to finish. But he's got a 10-second time penalty for exceeding track limits. That seems a little bit harsh.
Guy's just parking his car up.
Hopefully the stewards of Div2 will remove that one.
Yeah, we've got both the Hammer Times in 4th and 5th. But Blue Flag closed up a little bit on that cause. That's gone from about 1.7 to 1.3, so
Doesn't look
Paul
like...
James has got past City Posh as well.
But yeah, it doesn't look like Hammer Time 95 has great straight line speed. He wasn't really close with Pagani. He's going to try it now though.
So done, yeah, nice move.
Yeah, I had to get inventive with that lack of straight line speed. Definitely did.
Pagani just needs to stay patient now. The thing is, they've just got to realise that they have got a gap, and FTRL Hammer Time is falling back a little bit as well, just over a second behind, so he's out of DRS range. But these guys in second, third and fourth are going to put each other along. But Hammer Time 95 now, is he going to take a look up the inside of Simon? No, he's probably going to wait for the straight. This is where all the action is at the moment. We always stay with the closest battle on track, and at the moment, fortunately for us, it is for the podium positions.
Corey Cart might get ruled out of this race on what disqualified for time penalty soon.
Yeah. I don't think he'd care even if he got like 30 seconds. Rose Revenge saying, breaking news, Goy Carp is not last. Yeah, blue flag.
Being a while behind.
Yeah, well, blue flag holds off Hammer Time, but for how long is the question. Anything caught your eye?
A bit of a defensive battle.
Yeah, well, he's certainly going to be in for a ride now with Simon in front of him. No, he's pretty difficult to get past. Has anything caught your eye so far, Joe?
I'm just keeping an eye on Pagani. He said before the race he was quite worried his front left would get really hot, and he's looking like he's really struggling out there. He's losing a bit of ground to Hammer Time and Blue Flag in front, and FTRL Hammer Time behind him is catching him gradually. I think Pagani's really starting to struggle out there.
Yeah, Hammer Time 95 really putting the pressure on Blue Flag at the moment.
It'd be a lot easier if the two Hammer Timers weren't so close together.
Yeah. I think it's just got to be Hammer Time 95 and FTRL Hammer Time. I think that's what it's got to be now.
Yeah.
Simon looks to be doing enough to hold him off at the moment. Matt Cors has still got a comfortable lead, 1.7 seconds. As we are going to be approaching the pit window in the next sort of 4 or 5 laps, I would imagine. I think the undercut is pretty powerful around Spain, so be keen to see what people do. Obviously, with the Renaults and the Ferraris being so close together, they're going to need to be in communication. Oh, Hammer Time 95, is he going to go around the outside of him there? No, he tried it.
That would have been quite a move.
Would have been a fantastic move.
Pagani back up the back of him though.
Certainly has, but Willie Tix is now edging closer towards this, it must be said.
Yeah, those tyres are going to start to feel a bit rubbish.
Yeah, I think by lap 9, lap 10 they're going to start to really sort of slide. Yeah, Ravers has picked up on the point as well. Willie Tix catching these, I completely agree. Preheated oven not far behind either, so I think anyone within the top 7 have still got pretty good chance here because they're not really separated by too much. If we have a look at the gap to the leader, Preheated oven's only 7.5 seconds behind Matt Cors, and he's going to be on the quicker tyre towards the end of the race, as is Willie Tix.
Yeah, Willie Tix is always one that, if he gets clean air, he's got some pretty decent pace behind him, but he seems to struggle a bit with racecraft.
Yeah, we're going to see him moving to turn 1 from Hammer Time 95. Well, we are. Around the outside of Simon. Very nice move, so the Ferraris are now 1-2.
Yeah. We are back to how we started.
But I'm pretty sure they'll be aware that he's got a 3-second time penalty. So, he had a massive wobble there. I thought
Might see some Ferrari tactics now. Hammer Time just holding up the guys behind Matt Cors, just allowing him to just extend his lead.
Yeah, well, them scrapping has made Matt Cors have a lead of 2 seconds at the moment. But nevertheless, it's going okay so far. Yeah, Willie Tix is and Preheated Oven are all on the same straight as the race leader, pretty much.
Yeah, due to the new rules, it means that Matt Cors has already bagged 2 points at pole position, which is good to see.
Exactly, yeah. So he'll be well aware of that. Chicken Guy saying...
Got a decent run.
Yeah, Chicken Guy is currently saying in the chat, Spain would be a good track if they did the other layout where they go wide at the fast right-hander and straight on at the hairpin.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of the hairpin.
I love the hairpin. It's great. Oh,
Vortex had a little tap off hammer time.
Like we said earlier on though, don't write off the preheated oven in this race. Well, Hammer Time 95 has already caught up to Matt Cause by about half a second.
yeah, could we be seeing the difference in tyre management now?
Yeah, but also the only thing I think is obviously if it does come down to it, for whatever reason, with Matt Cause not ever winning a race, a league race, if Hammer Time is catching him and he's quicker than him, will they fight or will he let him through?
I reckon they'd fight.
Yeah.
Or if you're Matt Cause and you're checking with Jeff and you know he's quicker but you know he's got a penalty or two or whatever it might be come towards the end of the race, do you let him through and just try and manage the gap? How do you play it? That is the question.
When he takes, he's going to have a look at Hammer Time here.
Yeah, I think this is going to be a move. Preheated oven is lurking. Yeah, Willie Tix gets the move done. Nice move. Moves up into fifth. Obviously on these medium tyres, so they're going to be really kicking into some of their best laps now, I would say. Because you can go about 20 laps on the mediums, I would say.
Yeah.
So
yeah, anything beyond that's pushing it a bit.
Hammer time's now under a second on Matt Cause.
yeah, the two Renaults are really close as well. FTRL Hammer Time is now probably about to lose a position to a preheated oven as well. So what's the earliest pit stop you think we're going to see from these front runners? I think it might be lap 12 possibly.
Yeah, you could just about do the mediums 21 laps. I reckon this lap might be one lap
Yep.
too soon.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, don't forget in the Div 2 race.
Try it, then.
Yeah, the Div 2 race last. Oh,
Amber blue flag.
very interesting. Well, I thought that might be a lap too early, in my opinion. But
As you said, they've got to avoid each other, being the same team.
yeah. But I mean, I
They might
know.
not want to go 13 laps.
Yeah, very good point. I don't know if we'll see Pagani might go in lap 13 so he gets 20 laps on those tyres, so he's not struggling too much towards the end. I think it depends on how close Willie Tix gets to him by the end of this lap. Because it'll certainly be an advantage, and you know that these guys are all going to be battling coming into the race.
Yeah, preheated oven has got past Hammer Time now, so he still manages to keep touch with Willie Tix.
Yeah, I mean Willie Tix is not a slow driver. Let's not forget that. He just can be a bit erratic, but I mean, like Ravers has just said in the chat, he can win this.
Yeah, these soft tyres now will be falling off the cliff, so all these medium guys now will be catching up very quick.
Michael Korsgaard in the chat saying, breaking news, Goy cut up his last. Yeah, Willie Tix is right on the back of Pagani here, so let's see what Pagani does. Is Pagani going to go in? I'd like to think he will. Yeah, he is. Matt Cause has pitted as well from the lead.
Hammer Time, yeah, he's in.
Right, so what we need to do now is keep an eye on Hammer Time 95 as he's coming around the final complex of corners.
Matt Cause is about to leave the pit lane.
Hammer Time 95 is going to take the lead. Yeah, he is, yeah. There we go. So the undercut's worked, but Matt Cause is on the lap fresher tyres. They're going to be a bit horrible at this point, but yeah, blue flag stayed ahead of Pagani as well. So our net leader is Hammer Time 95, and he's got 2 seconds to Matt Cause, who I imagine will start to close that gap eventually. providing blue flag doesn't put him under too much pressure. Now let's have a look.
penalty,
how
Who just got a what? Sorry?
I was just saying that Hammertime does have that penalty.
Yeah,
though.
yeah,
You
he
need to remember
does.
that.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Could be crucial. I think that's the only one that I've seen so far.
Yeah, apart from goalies, obviously.
Oh yeah. Yeah, Michael Korsgaard saying keep calm, son. So he's well and truly supporting Matt. Right, well, as it currently stands, how much would you say a pit stop will be around here? About 22, 23 seconds?
Um,
I think it's about 22, yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe a bit less.
So at the moment, Willie Tix and Preheated Oven will come out just behind Pagani as it currently stands, but I imagine that gap will start to decrease over the next few laps. But there is actually a battle going on for the current race lead. Preheated Oven's only half a second behind Willie Tix, so he's really creeping up on him here. Big Metzer putting CJ under pressure. Under a lot of pressure.
CJ hasn't pit yet though, and is still on those softs.
With a broken wing, is he? I think he might have
What
a...
lap did somebody get punched yesterday? 15?
Yeah, it was Cress, I think.
Yeah,
CJ needs to be careful here.
Big Metzer's going to have to come in again as well, so... As is Michael C. So, in terms of pit stops, the top three haven't made one, and neither has CJ, like you said. We have a yellow in Sector 2.
Then that's Shrimpy.
Yeah.
Matt Coles. It's closing up slightly, Hammertime.
Yeah, he brought it down by a couple of attempts. Just doing what he needs to do. If I was Matt Coles in this situation, I would realise that I'm on a lap fresher tyres than him, and I can just manage the gap and bring it down ever so slowly, and put the pressure on towards the end of the stint, end of the race, should I say. But everybody other than...
Take a look at the ERS though. You've got Hammer Time with half. Blue Flag pretty much has half. Matt Cause is completely depleted us.
Right, Pagani has half. Blue Flag's got 38%. Yeah. Matt Cause needs to save his ERS. He's got a good shot at winning this race, Matt Cause. But I think we all know what it's like when you're kind of close to winning your first race. You kind of give it everything, didn't you? You don't really take all things into consideration. Now, I'll be interested to know between Preheated Oven and Willie Tix as to whether they pit on the same lap or not. Because that's going to be coming up in a few laps' time.
Don't know.
Hammer time
Yeah.
95 in the DRS of Paul James, who's currently in third. Flying up to the back of him. And he's going to put himself up into P3 now. It's all about how quickly Matt Cause can get past.
Yeah, Matt Cord is about 16 seconds behind.
Hammer
Willie
time
Tix now,
95
so-
gets his second time penalty.
Ooh.
I think that could have just cost him the win. That.
Yeah, may well have done. Don't forget, we're basically only just hitting halfway through this race as well. So,
Yeah,
there is time.
if Willie Tix had pit, I think he'd come out about a second behind Pagani or so.
Yeah, this is shaping up to be quite an interesting one, I must say. At this point, we don't know who's going to win. Matt Cause just needs to stay composed. But as far as early impressions go, the Ferrari drivers and the Renault drivers are certainly make a good first impression for their teams for the season, aren't they?
Oh yes.
Ravers with his stat saying Div2 lasted longer than Div1 without a DNF. Matt Cause in the slipstream. swooping down the outside like Fankati Dabo.
I knew you were going to do that.
Ready to whip in a delicious cross and execute to perfection.
I was thinking that just as you said swoop around the outside, I was like, oh god, no.
It's coming.
Easy work. Q Ravers' sarcastic comment in the stream. Preheated oven, 3-second time penalty. Something as simple as that could cost them a really, really good result. Ravers has replied saying, Fankati Dabo, he plays with passion. Anybody that knows, knows.
I think we could get him to sponsor the league.
I don't know, I mean, I do tweet him regularly.
Yeah, I'll have to wait and see.
Right. Back to the race now.
He's put it in the wall.
Let's hope he doesn't retire. Goy Karp's just overtaken him.
Oh!
Oh!
No, he's hit
no.
what he ticks.
Oh.
Who has?
Shrimpy.
Shrimpy.
Who's on the race tonight?
no way.
He was in the middle of the track.
Oh
Willie
no.
Ticks just hit him.
Oh.
Absolute disaster for Willie Tix. He was in a fantastic position then.
Ooh.
Unfortunate to say the least.
It's painful to watch.
Now, I wonder if Shrimpy lost a tyre when he got hit by Willie Ticks, or whether he's just retired himself. I'm not entirely sure what happened there.
I did see a Mercedes pull off to the side and just retire. So I think he might have just retired after that. But yeah, so I know Willie Tix is going to be very frustrated with that. But anything like that, please send it to the stewards. They will take care of it. It's probably just an honest mistake, but I know how infuriating something like that can be.
Preheat oven was really struggling through the last corner there then.
Yeah, I think
Tyres really started to fall off.
Yeah. I mean, I imagine he could go in at the end of this lap, really, because he'll do 14 laps, considering that you can do 13 in a race and qualify on them. So I imagine he'll probably go in this lap, and I think he needs to. But if he wants to have any chance, because if he comes out
about 5 seconds behind Hammerstein or so.
Yeah, on fresher tyres. So I mean, nevertheless, he could be on still for a P6. A comfortable P6, it must be said, because Michael C is going to have to pit again. Paul James has only just come in. Big Metz is going to have to pit again. And so is Agent Panda. So, well, even with all of this drama, we've still got CJ Payne outside the points. So I don't think anybody would have predicted that at this stage. Exactly. Right, let's keep on.
Very mad start to the race, though.
Yeah, there was. Right, it's preheated oven going to come in this lap. I think he probably will.
Yeah.
He is indeed.
Ooh, watch the ball.
Yeah.
Okay.
Talking about pit lane walls, Matt Cause is only 1.7 behind Hammer Time now. So he's looking in good shape.
Yeah. Well, all Matt Cause has to do is drive sensibly now for the next 13 laps, and he will have a race win.
The Ferrari rivalry is coming
Heating
to
up.
fruition.
It is. Oh, good word. Good word. Word of the day.
The word
You know-
of the day isn't Fandashi Dabo?
Fankati Dabo. No,
Fandashi Dabo.
no, that's name of the day.
Oh, good.
And
I'm happy he's got another one.
fruition. That's a great word. Ravers will like that word because it ends in shun. Anyway, the two Renaults are still pretty much stuck together. Preheated ovens come out 13 seconds behind hammer time. So
Ferrari Renault domination so far.
Yeah. Much like the old days, eh? Right, Matt Core's just managing the gap. That's all he needs to do at this stage. He's got basically 4 seconds leeway in this battle. Whilst it's quiet, I'm going to quickly check how everyone's doing in regards to warnings. Matt Core's does not have 1 warning.
Wow.
Blue flag has a penalty. Pagani does not. Hammer time has nothing. Preheated oven has 1 warning and is 1 more away from another penalty. So,
Oh, hammer time.
which one?
The one that's leading.
He's come out a long way behind FTRL hammer time. It's preheated, haven't he?
Yeah, well, Big Metz has had a good recovery drive, considering he's had to pit and he's still sitting in P8. So, considering he got caught up in the carnage at the start, he's on a recovery to P8. He's got yellows in sector 2 and 3. So, what's happened here? I
think it's Guy.
Right. I don't like flicking through like that, but I think I have to sometimes.
Oh, he's got a puncture.
Guy has a puncture. Oh yeah, he's front left.
Oh, Guy.
17 laps, and he's already got a puncture. Oh, he's... Oh.
Yeah, well, go in for a fresh set of tyres and I'll see Guy to the end. Like I said, all he wanted to do was finish at this point, so... Well, as it stands... Let me have a look at the gap to the leader, actually. If Pagani closes up a second, Pagani will jump hammer time 95 as well.
Ooh.
Not forgetting that Pagani doesn't have 1 warning, I don't believe, or he might have 1.
Yeah, he's already going to overtake blue flags this time, so...
Yeah,
Interesting.
certainly will. Chicken guy saying...
I think poor James had a bit of a moment as well, because I think he had to pit again for a new front wing, so that's put him outside the points, which is quite unfortunate for him.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Chicken guy saying clearly a fault with the Red Bull and front left punctures. Obviously, Crest finishing the race last night with a puncture on the front left as well.
It certainly looks like it.
Yeah. Maybe there is game conspiracies. At the moment, there isn't really much to go on. CJ Payne closing in on his teammate in DRS range. So we will keep a very close eye on that.
I mean, so far, every time I've done a qualifying session with you as my teammate, Aaron, my DRS is broken. So
Yeah.
I'm thinking you're fiddling with that.
I am.
Must be. Yeah.
I am, because you
Good.
always seem to beat me in everything by literally the length of a baby fingernail. And I'm just fed up with it. So...
Decided to take it into your own hands.
Exactly. Well, at this point, I think we should just quickly remind everybody of the calendar for the season as well, whilst it has calmed down. Let's have a look.
There's one question we'd all like to hear, Aaron. How do you feel about being called the Fat Controller by James last night?
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't particularly happy about it, but it's just one of these things. Yeah, it's not great. Anyway, right.
Oh well.
onto the calendar. So we're starting off obviously in Spain. Next week we are at Bahrain. Then round 3 is at the death track of Monaco. So if we have anything more than 10 finishes in that race in both divisions, I will be the proudest man on this earth.
Yeah.
France for round 4, Austria for round 5, Silverstone or Britain for round 6. In the second half of the season, we start off at Germany for round 7, Hungary for round 8, Belgium for round 9, which hasn't been in the calendar for a while, Russia likewise round 10, USA round 11, and we finish the season at Brazil for Division 2. That'll be on the 26th of March.
Yeah, we've got a few tracks in there we haven't raced that in a while, so it should be a pretty interesting one.
Exactly. Well, Ravens Avengers said something remarkably positive, saying Matt Cause has been flawless so far.
Is
And
he
I-
Can't argue with that.
Ravens?
Yeah, I think he might be a bit unwell or
Yeah.
suffered a recent blow to the head.
But yeah, Matt Cause has been doing a very good job.
He certainly has. But like we said, all he had to do was manage that gap, and that's exactly what he's doing. But at this stage, now, like I said to you earlier on, and you guys are about to back me up on this, when you're in the closing stages of a race for the final few laps and you know you're on for either a win or a podium or a really good result, the nerves can kick in. That's when the mistakes can happen. So I don't want to jinx nothing, but if Matt Cause can get himself through that tonight, realise he's got pretty much 4 seconds still to play with, then just take it real steady for the last couple of laps and he's on for a first ever race win. And I would love to speak to him after the race. It's going to be brilliant, providing that still happens. But then again, we've still got 8 laps of racing, so for the next 10 minutes or so, all eyes on him.
Hammer Time at this point as well is looking like he's going to be on the podium. Pagani's fallen back a little bit. And he's now got a 6-second lead to Blue Flag as well. So still could be a Ferrari 1-2 by the end of this race, which is a great performance by both of those guys.
Yeah, well, Blue Flag has got a 3-second time penalty as well, hasn't he? So
Okay, yeah.
So Blue Flag is on for a P3. But yeah, there's nothing really going on track, unfortunately. So lads, what's your views on the calendar for the season? Obviously, we spend time discussing it and trying to get it right, but do you think we've done a good job for it this season?
Yeah, I think it's quite a balanced calendar. I'm liking the inclusion of Monaco.
I'm not, but yeah.
That'll
Love it.
From a viewing perspective, it's going to provide great entertainment. From a driving perspective, it's going to cause absolute chaos. So, I know you're a fan of their
quite
will.
looking forward to Russia as well.
I need to drive it a lot more this year. I still love it.
Well, well, let me think about this for a second. It wasn't it? You won at Monaco to win. Was it season 5 or season 6?
6?
Yeah,
I think it was 6.
season 6. Yeah, you won the race at Monaco.
Dutch decided to crash into each other, which was quite nice. So,
Yeah. Well,
very
Oxox
nice.
he's superb around Monaco. I can tell you that much. So
As is
that,
Dutch from last season.
yeah, I'm not. So I would expect absolutely nothing from me. And especially now going to no traction, that's going to be an absolute laugh for the commentators.
Did that fat controller joke back out again?
Right. Well,
Uh,
on to the race. Matt Coors is now 2.5 seconds behind, but like I said, he's still got 3.5 seconds. At this point, he's just saving fuel, I think. Oh no, he's not. He's now put it up into overtake mode.
he's probably just playing it very safe, knowing the amount of time he's got in hand.
Yeah, I mean, if I was him, I'd probably just try and save some battery, just in case.
In case you get a surging blue flag.
Yeah. Well, Pagani is now caught up a little bit, so he is falling back, but he's from Hammer Time, but he is still within range of blue flag to get himself on the podium.
It'll be a nice, lovely start to the season if Pagani can get himself on the podium.
Exactly.
It's been in FTRL a long time.
Yeah. He was one of the original members.
In terms of on-track battles, Paul James is right behind City Posh Blue now for the last point.
Lovely. We will go to that then. Paul James does have his fuel light on, so that's something to keep an eye on. City Posh has loads of battery. Experienced. Could you call City Posh an experienced FTRL driver now? He's been here for a while. Couple of seasons.
Yeah,
He's a
he's
driver.
not.
Oh, I like him.
He's not experienced on the wheel. That's probably the
No.
problem he's got at the minute.
Then again, he's doing a good job, sitting himself in the last point scoring position. Be points on the board. I think he said before the race started he would just be happy to get some points. So even if it's one, Paul James scraping the gravel, it's going to lose him a few attempts.
But while we're talking about that, Pagani did pick up a time penalty, so he is P4 for good now.
Right. Pretty 11 gets his second one. Well, the race leaders have come round to... Well, they're coming round, should I say, to begin lap 29 of this race. Now, will we see a late push from Pagani? He's got 2 seconds to make up. Now, that's not impossible.
He has been closing in these last few laps.
Certainly has. I'm just going to double check one last time. Has Matt Cause got any warnings yet? He has one. Okay. Matt Cause has just the one warning at the moment, so even if he was to get himself a penalty, he will. He's still just inside that range. Pagani's closed up another half a second to blue flag, so Pagani has well and truly got the hammer down now, fighting for that last podium position. Could we see the battle of the bananas? The banana battle, Banana-rama.
Oh,
Sorry. I do
as long as
apologise.
blue flag doesn't slip up now, it should be good.
Well, 1.3 seconds. Pagani is closing this gap. It must be said. If he can get himself within DRS range by the end of the next lap, this could be a very exciting end to the race. And blue flag has pretty much no battery either. Pagani's got just over 50%. Come on, lads, give us a battle.
Yeah, we've got a bit short on battles the last few laps.
Yeah, we have been. Not forgetting, obviously, people like Prototype Steph missing tonight and so on, so they would have been up there within all of this, I would imagine, as well. So, but he's currently at Wembley, like I said, watching Tottenham. Agent Panda, 5-second penalty. Pagani, 1.2 seconds. Needs a good final sector here. He's really pushing the car, you can see. This is what we want to see from Pagani. It's been a very long time since we've seen this. 1.1 seconds.
He's joked a lot about putting it in a wall, so I'm really hoping that doesn't happen.
No, I don't think it will. He seems in the groove. When I first come across Pagani, he was an exceptional racer. Let me just make that really, really clear. He's dropped down a little bit now, 1.3. He needs to pump the car up now and give it everything for this lap, because he's going to need at least 2 laps to try and make a move on Simon. Well, Matt Cause, 2.9 seconds. He's got 2.5 laps to go. I think I don't want to jinx anything, but this could be it.
The moment we've all been waiting for.
Yeah. And I must say, and I will say this, if he does do it, and takes nothing away from Hammer Time 95, because he's driven superbly to win this on track, but I will be delighted for Matt Cause for obviously what happened last season. I know we joke about it, but it was really unfortunate. Pagani has got DRS. So we are going to see a fight now between these two Renaults for the final podium spot. But now, after what happened with Matt Cors at the end of last season, missing that promotion by, well, about 20 laps maybe. Given from when he first joined FTRL to where he's got to now, I think he'll be over the moon. And he might cry. You never know. No, I'm just joking. Right, Simon has literally no battery at all. And Pagani's got about 40%. It's down to just over half a second with basically 2 laps to go. Who's going to win this one, lads?
I think Blue Flag is running a bit more straight line speed than Pagani. I think he might just hold on to this. Yeah.
Yeah, I think he hasn't quite got enough laps to get past Simon as Pagani.
No, he'll be kicking himself about that penalty though, Pagani. Who's that in the background there? Oh, I think it might be a lap car, possibly. Okay, we are about to start our final lap of the Grand Prix. Hammer Time 95 is going to cross the line to begin lap 33 of 33. Matt Cors 2.3 seconds behind him. Yeah, Pagani's fallen out of DRS range. That late push from Pagani was a valiant effort, it must be said, but I think Blue Flag's going to hold on to this now. Bit too much of a gap, and from someone that's never scored a point in Spain to now possibly going to be scoring 15. It's pretty good going, it must be said.
I didn't even realise, but Paul James has got by City Posh, and Hammer Time is coming right up behind this little battle now.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to interfere with much, to be honest. I think that's him just a touch too far ahead for it to affect him on this lap. But anyway, gentlemen, I will ask you this, and we're going to keep this theme going for the season, but I'm going to ask you for a driver of the day.
I think majority of people will probably go for Matt Cors.
Yeah,
but I mean, I'm going to go for Hammer Time.
I need to give Matt Cors this moment. I'm sorry. Hammer Time crosses the line, and Matt Cors crosses the line to take his first ever win in FTRL, his first ever league race win. A brilliant drive from Matt Cors. Blue Flag comes home in third, Hammer Time 95 in second. A fantastic debut for him, and Pagani comes home in fourth. So Ferrari and Renault dominance. FTRL Hammer Time comes home in P5, preheated oven. Unopposed, are going to come home in P6, which I'm pretty sure he'll be very happy with. But yeah, sorry Joe, to butt in there. You're going to give it to Hammer Time. Go on, explain why, mate. Explain why.
I think he just drove exceptionally well. He's obviously won it on track. It's just a bit unfortunate he had the penalties, obviously, but yeah, I mean, he's not really put a foot wrong. So just like, again, it's just a bit unfortunate with the penalties, but again, congratulations to Matt Cors. So.
Yeah, massive, well done. Panda, what are you going to say? Will, what are you going to say? I'll call you by both names.
Thanks. Yeah, I'm going to give it straight to Matt Cors. Didn't put a foot wrong today. Held it really nicely within the range of Hammer Time in front, and pole position, race win. What can you really want?
Exactly. Well, I'm absolutely chuffed to bits for him. It must be said, Michael C took those medium tyres 28 laps.
What?
Honestly, I'm not lying. Go back on the stream and look. But yeah, I'll give you the full classification, but we'll give Matt Cors his moment on the podium, then we'll invite him in for what I can't wait for a podium interview. He's going to be absolutely over the moon. And I must say, for one, I'll be the first one to say that I'm extremely proud of him for that, after what happened last season. So there we go. The Danish flag on the top step of the podium. Hammer Time second, Blue Flag third. And I'll give you the final classifications in just a second. What was you going to say, Will?
Top five finished exactly the same way they started.
They did. Okay, so Preeti Dub in 6th, Michael C 7th. Big Metzer moved up from 14th to 8th. So good debut for him, especially after having to stop twice due to the carnage at the start. CJ Payne, disappointed from him, but he's finished in 9th. Paul James picks up the last point. City Posh in 11th. Agent Panda in 12th. Goy Carp last finishes in 13th, but nevertheless he will be happy that he's finished a race. So I know we will take the mick, but for a first race on the wheel, he's achieved his target, so good on him. And then unfortunately, the only retirements we saw were from Willie Tix and Shrimpy after that freak accident earlier on in the race. And that concludes round 1 for Division 2 for Season 8 of FTRL. So what we'll do now is we'll get in Matt Cause, Hammer Time 95 and Blue Flag for the podium interviews. Okay, right, boys, first of all, please make sure you're all allowing your voice to be shared in the party settings. Once you've done that, we will crack on with the podium interviews.
Yeah, don't mind.
Yep.
All good.
Cool, right, well, first of all, congratulations to you all on your podium. We'll obviously speak to you all individually. I'll speak to Matt Cause, and then Will or Joe will speak to either one of the other two. So yeah, first of all, Matt Cause, you finally done
Yes,
it, mate.
Sam.
You have finally done it.
Fucking finally. Oh, sorry. I can't. Sorry.
Family friendly.
That's
Oh,
all right.
sorry.
I think you can get away with that. How do you feel, mate? How do you feel?
That's amazing, isn't it? Yeah, finally, as you said. Yeah, super happy, obviously. And yeah, it was a good race. A little boring, actually, but I guess compensates for winning. So that's
Exactly.
nice. So
Sometimes, mate, when that sort of thing happens, you know, especially when your first wins kind of eluded you for so long,
yeah,
I think sometimes just have a boring race is sometimes the best way to go about it, really.
absolutely, that's all.
Did you feel any nerves towards the end?
To be fair, yeah, a little bit. I know that Hammer Time is quick, obviously, but I also knew he had 6 seconds of penalties. I was checking like every lap, just to make sure. So, well, I was a little nervous, but it was just about managing the gap. I wouldn't want to push him because I didn't want to risk. Obviously, he's my teammate, so I didn't want to try and make a move on him and it'll end up in a crash. So it's just about managing the gap in the end. So
Yeah, exactly. Well,
yeah.
I mean, and obviously, in the nicest possible way, after what happened at the back end of last season, and I know obviously you got a bit of stick for it and everything like that, but in terms of a first race for the season to go in and put a performance like that and win it, I think that's pretty much answered all of your critics, really, mate. So, how do you feel, obviously, after what happened at the end of last season? Was you nervous about it? Was you thinking about it? What was your kind of thought process?
Yeah, I took it quite slow when I went into the pits for the mediums. I will agree, admit. But yeah, I don't know what to say really. I have been bully it a little bit about what happened in France last season.
I won't say bully.
actually,
It's a strong word. That's a strong word.
well, I go to bed every night and cry myself to sleep, so that's what you made of me. So thank you very much.
No, but
no, I'm very happy, and yeah, I hope I can just continue this form for the rest of the season. Really,
Yeah,
it's gonna be tough because Hammer Time is very quick, and but it's gonna be fun. It's a good result for me and a very good result for the team. So I'm very happy.
well, that's what I was going to ask you. Really, I mean, just got a couple more questions. Really, first of all, obviously teaming up with Hammer Time. Obviously, you didn't know each other, and you've obviously created quite a lot of humour between the two of you in the chat. There's been a lot going back and forward, but I mean, overall, you must be happy with having such a good teammate, obviously proven by this tonight. And do you think you boys can go on and challenge for it this year, the constructors?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we obviously people don't know what happens behind the scenes because we talk in a friendly way to each other in private. So, but yeah, I think we very quickly have become very good friends, and hopefully we can just take the win for the constructors as well. So that's nice.
Exactly. Well, one final question for you then, mate. You've obviously had a very keen supporter in the chat, and you'll know who I mean by that. Yeah, so
that's my father.
your dad watches every single race, and I must admit he was absolutely overwhelmed when you won that by the looks of things. So
I gotta watch that back.
yeah, so I mean he's really happy about that, mate. So well done to you tonight, mate. And I don't think anybody, I was saying this a minute ago on the stream, from when you joined to where you've got to now and won your first race, mate, like, all jokes aside, massively proud of you, so well done.
Thank you very much, mate.
So we'll move on. Who wants to speak to Hammer Time? Will, Joe? Go on in, Will.
Sure. So it's first race, FTRL Hammer Time. That's the other guy. First in FTRL Hammer Time 95. We were getting it mixed up all night, to be honest. But so you obviously had those penalties at the end, which brought you down to second. Did you think the Matt Cause was going to overtake you on track, or did you think you had the pace to win that?
At one point, because I had a huge lock-up on lap 28, I think I had him, and it really affected how I drove for the last couple of laps. Well, yeah, he's a very quick driver. I expected him to be ahead of me coming out of the pitch because on my out lap, I nearly put it into the wall in turn 3.
Yeah, he really has come on a lot, Michael. He's very quick now. So, so you didn't have the greatest start, obviously. You dropped back behind the 2 Renaults, I believe it was, but you ended up coming through. Did you think that you pulled off some decent overtakes there, or standard stuff?
Yeah, I was actually quite happy because I wasn't expecting to overtake both of them before the first pit starts, but well, that was a bonus, really.
Yeah, it can it'd be quite tricky to overtake Blue Flag, so you've done alright there getting past him so quickly. And you'll probably find out as you go into the later races, it can be quite irritating to overtake. So, do you know what track we have next, by the way, Aaron?
Bahrain.
It is Bahrain.
Bahrain. So, what do you think about that then, Hammer Sam?
Got some good pace around. I've been practicing recently. But yeah, I know that Matt Cause will be quick around that along with some other drivers as well, especially the 2 Renaults. They were surprising. I was really impressed with their pace.
Yeah, it was a pretty close little race, really, apart from the last few laps where you all started to separate a bit. So just finishing it, there's one more question I'd like to ask, really. Ferrari have been pretty famous with their team orders in the past. Are we going to see any of that, or are you 2 racing?
I think we're both racing against each other.
Oh, good question. Good question.
That's where we want to see it. So, congratulations.
Thank you.
Right, well, Simon, Div2 admin. How was that race for you, mate?
I am ecstatic with that. Aaron mentioned it at the start of the stream. I heard it, that he mentioned the fact that I'd never scored a point round Spain in 18 months of league racing. So
yeah, sorry, mate.
To break the duck. Well, I told you to say it anyway, so not bothered. Yeah, to break the duck and pick up a podium to boot, over the moon.
Yeah, I mean, it was getting quite exciting towards the end of the race with you and Pagani.
Exciting, not the word I'd use.
I mean, did you guys have like an attack plan going into this race? Obviously, you started right next to each other on the grid, and you both got really good starts. I'm assuming you were in a pie with each other.
Yeah, I think we were both surprised with where we qualified, and I was even more surprised with the start he got. He got one of my starts, so I need to have a word and check what he's been doing, because that's not on.
I mean, was it? I mean, obviously you were watching the gap towards the end. I mean, were you getting quite nervous towards the end? I mean, I'm assuming you were talking to each other.
So yeah, the thing was, so I knew the Ferraris were out of reach, and I was really beginning to struggle with that front left. I mean, at the end of the race, I think it was about 79% worn, and Pagani's weren't much better, but yeah, he was trying to keep the gap to Hammer Time, because Hammer Time was penalty free and Pagani wasn't. He had a 3 second, I had a 3 second, and he was getting closer and closer. I'm thinking I'm struggling more and more, and yeah, somehow I just managed to eke enough performance out of it and make it to the end. I think one lap more I'd have punctured it.
Showing your experience there, mate. I mean, going forward, obviously the Ferrari guys are looking very, very strong, but I mean, equally, I mean, you guys look quite dominant out there. 3 and 4, which is not bad at all. Obviously, there's a few guys missing, but I mean, do you guys think you can take the fight to Ferrari, maybe trade the constructors, or?
Yeah, I'd like to think so. I think that myself and Matt Cause, there's a few races or tracks coming up, I should say, that I think we're fairly equally paced. I didn't really get. You would. Yeah, I didn't get the rub of the green last season, so I'd like to think a bit better luck, or it's better qualifying, and I could maybe mix it with them.
And speaking of tracks coming up, Bahrain next. How are you thinking about?
Yeah, I don't mind Bahrain. A lot of people seem to struggle with that middle sector, but I don't know. Last season I pulled off a couple of half-decent moves in there, so I know I can overtake round there, and equally I know I can defend there too.
Cracking. Well, congrats on the podium, mate.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, well, final word for me then. So well done to all of the podium sitters tonight. That certainly put you in a good position at the start of the season. Give you a good lump sum of points, and Ferrari versus Renault seems very much on the cards for the season, so I'll be looking forward to seeing how that unfolds as we go through. But yeah, please join us for next week's races, obviously Monday for Division 1 and Tuesday for Division 2, and we'll be at Bahrain next week, but that puts an end to the eagerly anticipated FTRL round 1 week of our 8th season. So please join us next week, and we will see you all then. Thank you all very much, and well done to the podium sitters.